Imagine we're on an amazing adventure, like a quest that takes us deep into the corners of our hearts and thoughts. On this adventure, we uncover something pretty cool about ourselves. We always seem to be wishing for more, kind of like a treasure box that never gets full. We keep wanting more toys, more attention, or more love, and sometimes we even get a little upset if someone else has something we don't. This quest teaches us that our desire for things isn't just about owning cool stuff. It's about something much deeper. We don't just want things. We want to be the ones with the most stuff, and we definitely don't want anyone else to have more than us. It's almost like being in a game where the goal is to always come out on top and be the champion. But here's the really interesting twist in our adventure. All this wanting and comparing can make us forget to appreciate the wonderful things we already have. It's as if we're holding a yummy ice cream, but we're too distracted by someone else's slice of cake to enjoy our own treat. On this spiritual journey, we begin to understand this game of wanting and comparing. We realize it's natural to have wishes, but it's also crucial to be content with what we have at this very moment. By embracing this lesson, we learn to find happiness and peace in the simple things right here and now, and to truly cherish the beauty of our journey through life. Buddha's secret discovery. Once upon a time, the Buddha stumbled upon a secret so big it was like finding a hidden gem in the depths of a vast forest. At first, he kept this discovery to himself, soaking in its wisdom quietly. It was as if he had unlocked a magical puzzle, but wasn't quite ready to share the magic with everyone else. Yet, the people around him started noticing something different, a special kind of sparkle in his eyes, a peace that was hard to put into words. They got really curious, whispering among themselves, "What's his secret?" The more people saw the change in him, the more they wanted to know how he did it. Finally, the Buddha couldn't keep it in anymore. He began to share his discovery, spreading his wisdom and joy to everyone, continuing to do so for the rest of his life. This story teaches us something pretty cool. It shows us that the best way to share what we know isn't just by talking about it. Instead, showing others how we live and the peace we've found by truly being ourselves, that's what really gets people's attention. When we're real and happy with who we are, others can see the calm and happiness in us and want to know how they can feel the same way. As the Buddha began to open up and share his enlightenment, his words and presence started to inspire people everywhere. His life became like a lighthouse, guiding ships through the night, helping others find their way. People traveled from far and wide just to be near him, hoping to catch a little bit of the wisdom he shared. His followers saw the huge difference his teachings made in their lives and started to spread those lessons far and wide. They discovered that the Buddha's words were more than just advice. They were a way to live a life full of meaning and happiness. This created a wave of change that went on to touch the hearts of people everywhere, building a legacy of kindness and understanding that lasted far beyond his time. So the Buddha's story is more than just about a guy who figured out something amazing and told everyone about it. It's a reminder that by living our truths and being examples of peace and joy, we can light the way for others, showing them how to find their own path to happiness and calm. It tells us that the most powerful lessons are those we live out loud, inspiring everyone around us just by being our true selves. Shifting perspectives. Let's imagine you're in a cozy spot that, oddly enough, feels like a tiny, dim room. This can be what living with depression is like for some folks. It becomes a sort of comfort zone, even if it's far from cheerful. People might begin to think, "This is just how I am," and the idea of leaving this space seems really daunting because they're not sure what awaits them beyond those walls. Now, here's an interesting twist. What if we're not just our emotions? Instead of declaring, "I am depressed," as if it's our entire being, we can shift to saying, "I feel depression around me." This tiny tweak in our words can crack open a door to a place that's brighter and filled with peace. It's akin to flicking on a light in that gloomy room. Consider this. When we name our feelings, it's like sticking a huge label on them. We end up focusing just on the label and miss the true essence of the feeling underneath. It's similar to having a box labeled "old toys" stored away. You might dismiss it as just some old stuff, forgetting all the precious moments it holds. When we label our emotions, we freeze them into something solid, but that's not really what they are. Emotions are more like the weather, constantly changing. Realizing that our feelings are just visitors passing by means we don't have to anchor our sense of self to them. We can recognize them without allowing them to dictate who we are. This approach helps us begin the journey of healing and finding tranquility, stepping from that cramped, shadowy space into a realm bursting with light and endless possibilities. Imagine we're all wearing magic glasses that change the colors and shapes of everything around us. Some glasses make the world look gloomy and gray, like a rainy day, while others paint everything in bright, sunny colors. But here's a secret. Both kinds of glasses are hiding the real magic that's all around us. Life, with its good times and tough ones, is way cooler and more interesting than any pair of glasses can show. Jim Carrey, the guy who's made us laugh in so many movies, has a really cool way of looking at life. He talks about a time when he realized that Jim Carrey was just a character he was playing, like in one of his movies. It's kind of like we're all actors, sometimes getting stuck playing parts that don't really fit us. When we get too caught up in these roles, we might start feeling pretty low. Now let's imagine life is the most epic adventure movie, and guess what? You're the hero and the storyteller. Every day, you get to choose how you'll face the world, picking out which mask you'll wear. But sometimes, we wear our masks so well that we forget who we really are underneath them. It's as if we're playing a game of hide and seek with our true selves, and it can make us feel lost. But what if we were brave enough to take off those masks and meet our real selves without any roles or scripts? It might be a little bit scary, but think about the amazing freedom and joy on the other side. It's like finding a hidden door in a room you've known forever, and behind it, there's a whole new world waiting for you. In this world, life shines brighter and feels more peaceful than any role or mask could ever offer. As we set out on this journey to discover our true selves, let's see each role we play as part of life's incredible dance. By asking ourselves who we really are beneath all the costumes, we invite a kind of happiness and connection into our lives that we never imagined possible. In the honesty of our true selves, we're not just going through the motions. We're fully alive, embracing each moment as a wonderful gift, free to be exactly who we are meant to be. True happiness. Unveiled. We often think that if we just had more money, fame, or success, we'd be happy. But lots of famous folks have shown us that's not how it works. Even with all the money and cheers from fans, the emptiness doesn't go away. It's like the more we chase after these shiny things, the further we drift from the real treasure, the quiet happiness that lives inside us. Hearing stories from stars like Jim Carrey opens our eyes to a big secret. The glittery life we see from afar doesn't hold the key to happiness. Climbing to the top and still feeling lost makes us scratch our heads and wonder, where does happiness actually come from? It's a bit of a wake-up call, making us realize that maybe, just maybe, happiness isn't something we can catch like a trophy. The race for more stuff, more claps, more of everything can tire us out. It's like we're on a treadmill that never stops, always reaching for the next thing we think will make us smile for real this time. But somehow, every time we grab that thing, it doesn't feel like we thought it would. That's when it clicks. The happiness we're hunting for isn't out there for sale. Real joy, the kind that fills you up and makes everything brighter, comes from knowing who you are, cherishing the small moments and the love we share with people. It's about being thankful for now rather than always looking for the next upgrade. Finding this kind of peace is a journey, one that asks us to look deep inside and really think about what makes us light up inside. Starting to care less about what we can show off and more about growing on the inside helps us discover the happiness we were after all along. This happiness is quiet, doesn't get shaken up by life's ups and downs, and it's built on understanding ourselves, being thankful, and loving deeply. When we shift to seeing life this way, Every single day has the chance to bring us joy, no matter what's happening around us. We find delight not in the cheers of the crowd, but in sharing a laugh with a friend, not in how much money we've got, but in the beauty of a peaceful evening. Changing our focus doesn't mean giving up on chasing dreams. It means going after them with a heart already full, knowing the best kind of happiness blooms from inside and lights up everything we touch. Joyful Life Quest. Running after things we think will make us happy is a bit like racing the wrong way on a track. We imagine that flashy cars, the latest tech, and happy pictures on social media are the ticket to joy. But do these things really fill our hearts with joy, love, and peace? These feelings are the true treasures, what we're really searching for in our happiness hunt. Let's go back in our minds to a time when things were simpler, before all the tall buildings and buzzing phones, when people lived close to the earth. They didn't have piles of money or endless shoes, but they had everything they needed. The whole forest was their playground, their kitchen, and their home. Nobody felt homeless because they were right where they were meant to be, in the middle of nature's gifts. This is what true contentment looks like, a life full of meaningful riches. True happiness is found in the little moments, like laughing so hard with friends that your stomach aches, or feeling the cool grass beneath your feet. It's the warmth that fills you when you lend a hand to someone or share a humble meal with your family. These moments are the real sparkles in our lives, outshining any fancy device or toy. When we start seeing life through this lens, something amazing happens. We realize that the glow of real joy doesn't come from things you can buy or click on. It grows in the quiet times, in the genuine connections we forge with others. This kind of joy doesn't just drop by. It settles in for good, deepening with every shared laugh, every act of kindness, and every moment of true understanding. Let's remember that the real treasures of our hearts aren't locked up in safes or showing off in the latest fashion. They're right here in our everyday adventures, in belly laughs, in stories shared under the stars, and in the gentle whispers of the wind through the trees. Walking this path with eyes wide open, we discover that happiness isn't about getting to some far-off place. It's about loving every bit of the journey, embracing every twist and turn, and realizing that every single step brings us closer to where we truly belong. Now, how do we make sure we're really living in the moment, enjoying the here and now, even as we dream about tomorrow? It all starts with something pretty simple, but mighty powerful: being thankful. When we take the time to really see the beauty in today, the little wins, the magic in the mundane, and even the lessons in our challenges, we transform everyday moments into something truly special. Imagine feeling just as amazed by a shared joke, a quiet walk, or a moment of quiet thinking as you would if you achieved something huge. There's so much more to life than just moving from one milestone to the next. Every second, every breath, is a chance to connect more deeply with our own hearts and with the big, wide world around us. It's about seeing the splendor in the now, knowing that each step and every breath is part of a bigger, beautiful dance. Living with this kind of mindfulness, we start to see life not as a sprint to the end, but as a dance, a gentle flow we're all moving through together with purpose and beauty. In this amazing dance of life, let's make sure to stop once in a while, to deeply inhale the air around us, and to really look at the beauty all around. The future? It's not going anywhere. It'll wait patiently for us. But this moment right here? It's like a shooting star, quick and precious, something we should hold close and treasure. By living fully in the present, with our hearts wide open to the wonders of now, we bring a kind of joy and richness into our lives that no achievement down the line can ever top. Let's take on this incredible journey with every unexpected twist and joyful turn, carrying a heart bursting with thanks and eyes wide with wonder.